What's going on, guys? So in front of you, you were looking at something that I just recently featured in my new truck, my 2024 F450 Platinum, which does not have the factory rear view camera mirror because they don't put them in Super Duties that I'm aware of. If you didn't get a chance to watch that video, go back and check it out. In that video, we basically replaced the Wolfbox that I had installed, which is a forward and rear facing dash camera plus rear view mirror video system, with the new upgraded G900 Pro. And it was really cool because I was able to completely remove it, put the OEM bracket in place so this thing looks completely stock in the truck, and then drive around and give you a driving review of how well it actually works. Well, I can tell you that, yeah, some things came of that video. Let me talk about it. Hang tight. I'll be right back. So the story here is that after I was done and I pulled up to the house, we decided to go out to get something to eat. So my wife hops in the passenger seat and she goes, "Hey, so what were you doing out in the shop?" I said, "Oh, I was replacing my camera mirror with the new G900 Pro that Wolfbox sent because they saw the first video on the one that I had purchased on Amazon, as well as the one that I purchased on Amazon that I installed inside of her Expedition." So I had already purchased two Wolfbox rear view mirror cameras, one for my wife's Expedition and then one for my F450. And the Wolfbox saw the video. They said, "Hey, we have the new G900 Pro. We'd love to see if you'd like to upgrade to it, put that in your vehicle and see what you think." So they sent me it. I installed it in the F450, and yeah, it's really nice. And she looked at it. She saw the fact that it replaced the entire factory mirror versus just clipping to the front of it. And she goes, "I want one." So now I have to upgrade one inside of her Expedition. So went ahead and got a second one, the G900 Pro, and we are going to actually replace the Wolfbox that I had already put in her Expedition. Granted, it's not nearly as nice as this one, but she's had it in there for a while now. It's a little bit smaller, and we're going to put this one in to replace that one. So I just wanted to quickly give you an update on what's going to happen. We have the OEM mount. We have the camera system itself, again, the 900 Pro. This thing is super cool because it has really good low light, plus it's wider. It comes with a memory card built into it already. It has Wi-Fi, so you can connect to it and you can see all your clips and download everything. It's really cool compared to other dash cams because you can actually see everything on the screen, which is a much larger screen, and it's touchscreen, so you can scroll through everything to see what clips you've captured. It's just really convenient. But great solution. It has voice command as well, so you can control it with your voice. It's just an awesome solution. 12-inch touchscreen, 4K front camera, 2.5K rear camera. Yeah, so this is just a big upgrade, and this is what's going to be going in my wife's vehicle. Okay, so we're going to try to get this thing installed super quick because I told you all it is a very quick process to upgrade from one Wolfbox to another. We'll see if that holds true with my wife's Expedition. So first things first, we're going to unbox the video screen and the mirror, I guess you could call it. Inside of the box, we have the power cord, we have the GPS antenna, as well as the rear view camera kit, which I believe the only thing we'll need from this kit is the camera itself and not the whole wiring harness. And this should unplug just a few feet after the camera itself, right there. So we're going to unplug this, and we should just be able to swap this part out in the back and then swap this part out in the front. But the first thing we're going to need to do is to remove these so we can put the OEM kit in place. So this is what's going to allow us to put it where the OEM camera is. So let's go ahead and get these little rubber pads removed and remove these pieces right here. These are glued on, or at least with adhesive. We're simply going to take them all off. Sometimes you have to find the right screwdriver for this to make sure it will actually get into the little slot you have there. And you're going to reuse these screws with the mount. Okay, so these are pretty much all off. Now you're going to slide these out after the screws come out. So we're going to knock all the screws out, and then they slide out like that. Inside this box is going to be our OEM mount, and we should have some screws in here as well, which are right here. So this is going to mount in place right here, and we're going to use the same screws to hold that in place. Okay, there we have it, all nice and tight in the mount. There, now we have the bracket nice and tight on here. We're now going to take this piece right here. We want to make sure that the opening is at the bottom of the mirror, which is where the button is also. Otherwise it won't slide down the way it needs to. Okay, so we have the mount in place. Everything's looking good. Again, the opening right here needs to be at the bottom, so whenever it slides in, it slides down over the mount. But we're good to go. So swapping this out up front should be incredibly easy. Let's see if that's true. So here's the Wolfbox we'll be replacing. Just need to pop the power and the rear view camera out, and then simply unscrew this. Like so, and we will likely have to pop this panel down, which is super easy. It just essentially pops down. Like that. There we go. And then this should just slide off, just like that. So now we'll be installing the new one by sliding that over, getting my Phillips head and tightening it. All right, and then plugging it back in. Before I do that, I'm going to put the cover on right here. Actually, that goes down on the bottom. Like that, and tucking the wire above it, like so. And then plugging all this stuff back in, and then I'll tuck the rest of the wires. There we go, and then we're just gonna tuck all this stuff back underneath this plastic up here. Okay, everything's tucked out of the way. I'm gonna turn it on. I don't think the rear view camera is gonna come on. I need to swap that one out, but I can at least check the front camera. Yeah, so rear view camera is not gonna work until I swap that out with a new one. Okay, so here is the rear view camera. It's right here. I have 2 screws in the adhesive. We'll pop that off and then simply unplug that from there. So let's go ahead and replace that. Okay, so the new camera is mounted. I used the adhesive that came with it, plus the 2 screws. I actually used the same 2 screws that I had before. And then this should just plug right back in to this harness that I already have back here. Check that out. So that plugged right back in, and we're gonna tuck it right back into this space right here where we had it. I allow the cord just kind of dangle right here so it has flexibility when the gate's open or closed. Check that out. I'm going to clean off the back windshield here a little bit. There we go. Let's drop it down. And that's going to be right behind the glass, right here. Okay, I might need to tilt it up just a little bit, but let's see how it looks. Okay, so it's turning back on. There's the front. I love the fact that you can adjust it right here. Just move it around the way you need it. There we go. Now the back is right there, and I can tilt it down more, or I can raise it up more if I need to. A lot clearer. So that's exactly, I think, where we need it actually. It's placed really well. We just need to set up the time, date, and all that. I love the fact that there's already a micro SD card included with it. And yeah, we just need to plug the GPS antenna now and figure out where we want to put it. Okay, so just like on my 450, I put the GPS antenna right there. I ran the wire down and around through here. It's going to pass right here, go up this pillar, behind this trimming, and then up and around here. So it's out of the way. Over here, behind here, and down. So now, when we turn it on, we should actually be able to see the GPS information appear over here. There it is. See the little direction and all that stuff. So we can tap on it. We can change different settings in here. Fatigue reminder. This has Wi-Fi built into it, so you can download the clips. Your G sensor, your volume settings, screensaver. Just tons and tons of stuff built into this. Speed stamp, date stamp, GPS stamp. This is all whenever it captures events and they're taking place. Just very, very cool. Here's the time zone. Check it out. So, yep, pretty happy with the way this is set up. This works really, really well. And quite frankly, this is the type of feature and upgrade a lot of people really want to add to their vehicles. I think it can really make you feel proud about having a vehicle that might be a little older that didn't have this tech, knowing that you can add something like this that's actually better than the factory equipment that you could have gotten in a newer vehicle. So it's always really cool to see what new technology is available, how this stuff has progressed, and what it's capable of doing. And it's relatively affordable. That's kind of the key behind this stuff. You're not putting thousands of dollars into your vehicle. You're putting, you know, a few hundred max into a vehicle that's going to really, really make you feel better about what you're driving. And it just has a cool factor associated with it as well. But hope you enjoyed this video. I will drop a link in the description of this video if this is something you may be interested in. Big shout out to the folks over at Wolfbox for providing this. I really, really appreciate it. Now my wife isn't, you know, complaining that she has old tech and I have new tech. We're caught up and everything looks the same, so we'll be able to review it in both the vehicles whenever we drive them. Anyways, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very, very soon.